You could buy a condo for under 90 grand right now here in Florida. This is real, and I'm gonna show you how to make it happen. With all the fear in the market right now about condo inspections, rising insurance costs, and flooding, people are scared to buy condos. They're piling up on the market because nothing's selling. That's why this is the perfect time to step in and snag an amazing deal. Not every condo is a high-rise on the water with structural issues. There are some gems out there if you know where to look. Let me show you what's really going on, what to avoid, and 3 condos you could buy right now for under 90 grand. Let's jump in. This whole condo crisis started after the tragic Surfside condo collapse in 2021, where 98 people lost their lives. Florida lawmakers took action to prevent such a disaster from happening again. They introduced new regulations requiring structural inspections for certain condo buildings. So here's the deal. Any building that's 3 stories or taller and at least 30 years old must now undergo inspections every 10 years. But it gets even stricter for those properties closer to the coast. If a building's within 3 miles of the coastline, those inspections start sooner at 25 years instead of 30. This makes sense because salty air and sea spray can wear down concrete and metal much faster than properties further inland. These inspections focus on structural integrity, looking for things like cracks in concrete, corroded rebar, and issues with balconies or foundations. In older high-rise condos, especially those near the water, are under the microscope. This means many of these buildings are facing big repair bills and even bigger assessments for the owners. For example, a recent report showed that residents in some coastal high-rises have been hit with assessments in the 6-figure range.
Sleepless nights? Every night. I don't know where we're going to live or how we're going to live.
The total assessment for the apartment we're sitting in is what?
Approximately $224,000.
When you say that number, can you believe it?
No, not at all. We can't afford it. We can't afford it. We're going to go broke.
Think about that. A surprise bill like that can seriously wreck someone's finances. Now, this doesn't mean every condo in Florida is a ticking time bomb. It's important to understand that these regulations are targeting older, taller buildings, particularly those in high-risk areas near the coast. If you're looking at smaller condos, single-story or 2-story buildings that are newer, you're less likely to run into these issues. The media often focuses on the worst-case scenarios, but there are still plenty of great deals on condos in Florida that don't come with sky-high repair bills. Knowing the details of these laws and which condos they apply to can help you avoid potential headaches and score a smart investment. When you're buying a condo in Florida, there are definitely some red flags you need to watch out for, especially with older high-rises near the water. These buildings are the ones facing the most scrutiny right now because of stricter inspection laws. The cost to repair structural issues in these condos can add up to millions of dollars. And who ends up footing the bill? The owners. That means you. Special assessments, those surprise fees that owners have to pay, can run tens of thousands of dollars per unit. Imagine moving into your dream condo and a year later, you're slapped with a $50,000 or even $100,000 bill. No one wants to deal with that kind of a nightmare. One of the smartest things you can do before buying is to check the condo's financial health. Ask to see their financials. Do they have reserve funds set aside for repairs? A well-run condo association saves money for future maintenance, so owners aren't hit with huge assessments. If the reserves are low or non-existent, that's a big warning sign that you could be in for a financial disaster. Also, pay attention to any ongoing lawsuits. If the condo association's involved in a lawsuit, it can be a huge red flag. Legal battles are expensive and can tie up the association's funds, leaving nothing for important repairs or maintenance. And trust me, you don't want to buy into that kind of drama. Stick with buildings that are smaller, well-maintained, and have solid financials. 2-story condos or newer units further inland are often safe bets. Let's take a look at my hometown, St. Petersburg, Florida, where I've found 3 condos currently sitting on the market for under $90,000. Yeah, You heard that right, under $90,000. While everybody else is hesitating, now's your chance to snag a deal. Let me show you some real-life examples of what's out there. First, there's 5725 12th Avenue North, Unit 205D. It's a 1-bedroom, 1-bath, 869 square foot condo listed for only $69,000. This one's been sitting on the market for 184 days, so they're either real stubborn or desperate to make a deal at this point. It's actually not in a bad spot. It's close to shopping, restaurants, the beach, and the city of Gulfport. This is a 55 and older community, so you know it's going to be quiet here too. It might need some updates to make it look more modern, but looks like it's in great shape from the pictures. If you're planning on buying something like this to Airbnb, you gotta find out first if the building even allows it, and second, if the city does too. Another thing to keep in mind is the HOA fee. This one's listed at $750 a month. That might be one of the reasons this one's been sitting, but if you can buy this thing cheap enough, at some point it's not that big of a deal. These are the kind of things you have to know before you buy. Moving on. Next, there's 1049th Street North, apartment 210. It's a 1-bedroom, 1-bath, 917 square foot unit listed for $80,000. This one looks like it's in really good shape, and it's not in a flood zone. Bonus. It's not too far from my house, so it's a pretty good neighborhood, and the HOA on this one is $702 a month. Now imagine living in Michigan during the summers and having this little crash pad to come down to for the winters. Not bad, right, for 80 grand. Finally, there's 5530 80th Street North, Unit C101. It's a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom, 745 square foot condo for $79,900. This one looks like a great little place, and it says it took on no wind or water damage from the 2 most recent hurricanes. It also says the amenities include 6 pools, 4 heated during the cooler months, 2 clubhouses, tennis courts, and a fitness center. This one's a 55+ community as well. It's located in 5 towns community, but what really caught my eye is this. Owners motivated. This one's been on the market for 103 days, and it sounds like they need to sell now. The HOA is $639, which ends up being the cheapest one on our list. Now, I haven't looked into the financials of these condos, so just because I mention them doesn't mean they're deals. The point here is to show you that there's still affordable real estate available in paradise. Now's the time to stay tuned to what's happening in Florida and not let the news scare you away from a potential opportunity. I want to really make this point, so let's break it down to pricing on these condos. If you snagged a $90,000 condo with 20% down, that's an $18,000 down payment, leaving you financing $72,000. At a 6.5% interest rate on a 30-year loan, your monthly principal and interest would be about $455. It's not too shabby, right? For your very own place in Florida. But don't forget, you're also going to have property taxes, HOA fees, and insurance. Make sure you add this in when you're trying to find a deal. But here's the thing, at a certain price, everything starts looking like a deal. The lower these condo prices dip, the more attractive they become. And if you got cash on hand, you're in for an even stronger position to negotiate an amazing price. Financing can get tricky on condos under $100,000, so cash buyers have a real edge in this market. Think about it, when a condo that's been sitting starts dropping in price, that's your cue to act. Even condos that need a little TLC become solid opportunities when the numbers add up. Let's say a condo gets a $10,000 to $20,000 price cut. Suddenly, a place that might have seemed average last year looks like a pretty smart move today. Fix it up, rent it out, or hold on to it until the market bounces back. That's how you turn today's market fear into tomorrow's profit. And it's not just fixer-uppers. Move-in ready condos are becoming deals too. Sellers don't want their listings sitting for months, so when the prices drop, that's your moment to swoop in. Especially in areas like St. Pete, where demand will always bounce back, thanks to the beaches, restaurants, and sunshine. These deals won't stick around forever. If you're paying attention now, you could set yourself up with an affordable slice of paradise. Don't wait until everyone else jumps back in, or you're gonna miss your chance. Let's get into how you can actually find a great deal on a condo in Florida. First off, you need to figure out where you wanna buy. If you're dreaming of living on the beach, that's totally possible. There are still deals out there. You just need to be extra careful and know exactly what you're walking into. But really, no matter where you're looking, the key is to do your homework and hire the right people to guide you. Here's my advice. Work with a realtor who knows their stuff. Not just any realtor, a pro who sells a ton of condos in the neighborhood you're looking at. This is one of the biggest decisions you're gonna have to make, so don't hire your buddy's cousin who just got licensed last month. If your realtor knows the area well, they'll be able to tell you which buildings are solid and which ones you should avoid like the plague. They should know about any structural issues, special assessments, or HOA problems. Now let's talk specifics. If you're buying near the beach, look for buildings with parking on the first floor and living spaces at least 15 feet above sea level. That's gonna help protect you from flooding. And if you're worried about water damage, buying a condo on a higher floor might be a smart move. Away from the coast, there are plenty of condo buildings that are well maintained, have funded HOAs, and aren't dealing with all these inspection and repair headaches. Make sure your realtor sets you up on a 30 days on market search. When a condo's been sitting for over 30 days, the seller is usually more motivated to negotiate. They don't want it sitting around for another 3 months, so that's your chance to get a deal. But stay away from any buildings that haven't had their inspections done, are tied up in lawsuits, or have huge special assessment fees that need to be paid. If your realtor can't help you steer clear of those, find a better one. Seriously, don't settle for bad advice. It'll cost you a ton in the long run. And remember, if you're waiting for the news to tell you it's a good time to buy in Florida, you're gonna miss the boat. The news only talks about what's already happened. And by the time they're saying it's a hot market, everybody else is already gonna be buying. The truth is, the fear in the market right now is creating a golden opportunity. While everyone else is too scared to make a move, this is your chance to swoop in and snag a deal. And let's be real, this is Florida we're talking about. It's real estate in paradise. Once a homeowner's insurance issue gets sorted out, and they will, you're gonna see buyers flooding back in. The demand for real estate here isn't going anywhere. And when that wave of buyers hits, the deals will be long gone. Not every condo has issues, and there are plenty of gems out there waiting to be found. Focus on smaller, well-maintained buildings in good locations, and you'll be way ahead of the curve. This isn't just about buying a condo, it's about setting yourself up for long-term gains in one of the most desirable places to live. So if you're in the market, now's the time to pay attention. And if buying a condo for under $90,000 got you excited, what about buying a whole house for $60,000? Check out this next video where I'll show you how this revolutionary new home will save Florida's sinking housing market. Elon Musk actually just bought one of these bad boys. Click here and I'll see you there.